Hello, I'm Jules. Welcome back for another video. It is the middle of August. I can't believe it. This video today will probably be kind of a short one in a sense. We'll see. First, if you are new to the channel, I am Jules of Stitching Jules Design. I do my own cross stitch patterns, and I stitch, most of my stuff that I stitch now is all my own patterns. Everything behind me is stuff that I have done. I have an Etsy store down below. I also have a website down below where you can check out the rest of my stuff. All right, guys, I have a finish, another finish. You know, it dawned on me not too long ago that I never did that mid-year review where I could have pulled out like everything that I finished, because this has definitely been, I think, the biggest finishing year that I have had, I think, ever. A lot of that is because the patterns I'm doing now are smaller than the ones I used to do, but still getting all these done is pretty crazy. If I stay on course, I could have 18 to 20 finished cross stitch patterns by the time that the next national market pops up, which would be fantastic. Just the more I can show my stuff, the better. But let me show you my finish from this week, and it is Sun Worship, and the color just ridiculously pops on this one. I love it. It came out so good. I'm very excited to get this frame, see what it looks like. But right now, I'm just super happy it's done. I pulled a lot of hours this week working on this one. This was by far because I want to say I had 3,000 or 4,000 stitches to go, and these are full cross stitches. So yeah, I don't know how I just powered through and got it done, but so super excited about that one. We'll get to the second part of the coolness of this one in just a second. Let me see here. I've got two more whips to show you. Here, you come over here. Next up is Cowboy. Cowboy did not get a lot of attention this week, poor Cowboy. I only really stitched on him during the Stitch With Me, and if you watch the Stitch With Me, you'll understand I had kind of a hard time with it. For whatever reason, it was like raining frogs, is all I gotta say. It was raining frogs. So you can't see all of them yet, but I'm leaving the hoop in for now because I want to stitch him afterwards, but this is actually the bottom of yet again, I'm not sure why I have such an issue with like dimensions on my own cross stitch stuff. Like I always get like either way too small or way too. When I have a stitching shop make my own fabric for me, cut it, serge it, all that good stuff, it comes out perfect. When I take a piece of cross stitch that was meant for another project and I'm like, aha, I can use it for this one because blah blah blah, it'll fit on it. I thought this would barely fit on this, and look how much space I have, which is great. I actually already have a frame for this one too. I'm super excited because as soon as it gets done, like I'm not gonna mat this one, I'm just gonna put it right in the frame, so I should be able to get it done pretty, bam 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 bam. Hoping, but I'm planning ahead, so we'll see. Anyway, this is 28 count. Ghana, I believe, and yeah, he's coming along nicely. So I just gotta focus and finish him up. And then lastly, working on this week is Mondo project, the lifetime cross stitch. If you guys weren't here last week, you might be surprised that I pulled this baby back out. Well, I'm pulling the baby back out because I still haven't gotten that much done on her. You know, I've had this one for what, like 6 years now, and I'm only on the first row. And I go back and forth between wanting to stitch and then getting caught up in the, just in the design store and just all these other things. But honestly, I just really want to work on this one. This is definitely like still my lifetime project. I want to kind of get back into it. I need to wash it at some point because it's been sitting around for a couple of years not getting worked on. But yeah, so I have devoted a Stitch With Me to this one that runs on Saturdays. So it's just like an hour, roughly an hour long episode of me just stitching on this, talking about this project and other things. It's funny that I got the most comments of any video I've done lately, and just I think a lot of folks that had kind of drifted or just weren't all that, like, they came to the channel because of the massive projects that I was doing. and most of them have stuck around because of just the stitching and everything. But some folks that hadn't maybe talked in a while were like, hey, you brought it, you know, they were so excited. And so I'm happy to bring it back. Definitely needs to be worked on, and I need to work on it between Saturdays. It's never going to get done if I only stitch on Saturday for like an hour. It's not going to happen. So so I got to work on it. There's a lot of confetti stitching. I got to fill in a lot of stitching that I've missed. The nice thing though is that it's on my pattern keeper. So because of that, it's going to be, once I kind of get caught up and have everything marked appropriately, it's going to just be, it's going to be so much better, so much better. So that's the third one that I've actively stitched on this past week. And since I finished Sun Worship, I now get to go and bring something else into the rotation. Now I've got a couple choices. Well, I've got more than a couple, but I have this one, which is on my roller frame, which I haven't used in a while because, you know, I just haven't. And I'm tempted to just start stitching on this one again because I think, do I have any bifocals? Where are my bifocals? Where's my okay, I don't have any bifocals. I can't tell if it's half stitch or full. I think it's half / tint stitch. But anyway, so I'm thinking I should really just pick this one back up and just move and just kind of push it to the finish line. This one has a lot of pinks, and so it will definitely provide more color. Having more colored projects is good. A lot of people prefer the color to the black and white stuff that I do. I love it all. I really love the black and white stuff, as you can tell. But anyway, I'm doing a little bit of everything. So I have this one, and then my other ones that I need to get to, the ones that are small enough that I think I could get done maybe before the end of, okay, maybe not the end of the year, but maybe before Nashville in March. A couple choices, the colorful sea turtle. I've done the monochrome sea turtle, I just don't have them up here yet. But the sea turtle with color. If you haven't seen that one, I was really delayed in putting that up on the store, so go check it out. It's on there now. But I think that one would be fun. Lots of color in that one. The classic American flag I can do, and there's a few others that are smaller that I thought, maybe I can get these done. Maybe I can get these done. So we'll see. We'll kind of see how the week goes. Right now, today, the next couple of days, I need to focus on. Like I'm going to do the old world map, and I'm going to Cowboy. So we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of what needs to be getting done or what is being done, was it just last week that I talked about having people, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember, but I put the word out saying, hey, if you're a small FlossTube channel, if you'd like to stitch my, a pattern for me, that would be fantastic. I just want to see, you can have a pattern, just want to see what it looks like on your channel, and I'll talk about your channel on my channel, and hopefully we can cross promote each other and everybody wins. So there's quite the list of people involved, and this is not a complete list yet because there's a few that haven't started yet. So it's a matter of, in the next couple of weeks we'll add them to the list. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. So Daphne Chamberlain, I talk about Daphne all the time. She just sent me back Sisters in the Storm. So I got that one. I'll show that one later. But she's going to actually start working on Mini Book Street, which I love. Terry Lee Crafts, who's very excited to start Winter Sleigh Ride. And when she was talking about it the other day, it's funny because when she started talking about it, I was thinking like, man, I honest to God wish it was like snowing right now. I want it to snow so bad, but it's not going to because it's like 90 degrees. But I'm ready for winter, let's just say that. But she's all excited. She does some big projects over there. Then there's Nicola. Make sure, if I get your name wrong, if I pronounce it wrong, please just let me know because I'm not always the best at it. Simply a Stitcher, and she has actually already gotten a fair bit done on a polar bear and cub. Unfortunately, there's a lot of white in that project, so it's not necessarily the fastest stitch in the world, at least when you're doing that. But when she gets down to the actual like polar bear mama, then it's gonna really start popping. So she's already like motoring right along. Created by Karen has just started her channel, and she is doing the Feeding the Horse monochrome piece. So again, all the links will be down below for all the different FlossTube channels. So please, go check them out. Subscribe if you'd like. Tell them I sent you. Yeah. So next up we have Crafting in Colorado, who is doing Swinging Girl. It's the one with the girl who's in the blue dress, and you can't really see her face. It's kind of a picture of her on the side on the swing. So, but she's starting Swinging Girl, which is awesome. Then there's AliJuuno's Crafty Corner, and she is doing the Wise Owl. It was just the I have the knowledge and wisdom. There's an owl with like a knowledge and wisdom saying, like a sentence or whatnot inside the owl. There's a full coverage one where it's the owl plus this background, and then there's one that's just the owl, and that one's called the Wise Owl, of course. And so anyway, but she's going to be working on that one, so I can't wait to see that one. Let's see, Jenn the Caffeinated Crafter has just agreed to start the monochrome James Dean. Cannot wait to see James Dean. That's gonna look awesome. And then Casey Stitches. Casey Stitches, I didn't realize this, has actually been working on a number of my monochrome pieces already. Finished the Squirrel and is now working on the Sleeping Cat and Haunted House. So this is gonna be awesome. Multiple, I mean, and none of these are like repeats of anybody else. So to have everybody be doing all my stuff is going to be fantastic. And these are smaller channels that, are doing good work and, could really use more support, could use your support, because you guys are awesome. And enough said. So there's all of that. So I showed you guys also last time my covers for my cross stitch patterns. Didn't I say this is going to be a short video? I didn't plan very well. I had showed you guys the new covers that I was doing for my pieces, and I'm going to make a couple changes on those. I got some constructive feedback, and it was really good, and I know what we're talking about, and I think I need to definitely change some things up. But I'm so close to feeling like I'm where I can feel like my physical patterns when they go to stores, like they're good, they're solid. I'm so close to that. So hopefully within the next week. I'm also working on my expo, needlework expo. I'm only going to be displaying maybe about 19-20 different projects. I've got a lot more than that, but the 19 to 20 are a good representation of some of my most popular ones, color and monochrome, and some of the newer stuff that I've finished. And we're just, it's just to see what people like, or people like stuff. They're like, "Ooh, I like that, but could you do a, whatnot? Like, hey, you have a wolf, can you do a bear?" And so stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm working on that. Crazy. It's been busy. And there's stuff that's going on at home. I've been super busy here. I'm home all day now, and I'm home every day, but I'm telling you, I'm not bored. I got a lot to do. I'm usually quite overwhelmed with all the things that I've set aside for myself to do with Expo coming up, and there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm doing right now, but yeah, it's kind of nuts. Oh, and then lastly, I wanted to try out some new fabric pens. If you notice on Cowboy, I actually went and ironed the top part of him just to kind of get rid of the grid lines. You guys saw the grid lines the last couple times, and I just ironed out the grid lines. They look good. And so I'm not terribly worried if the grid lines try to come back. I'm going to be framing these in a way that if they do come back, I'll just be able to take the back off, take the acrylic off of the actual pattern, and I could probably just iron it or something, hot something. And so, but I'm not worried about it now. We'll see about the future. But anyway, so, but I wanted to go back and kind of try some of these more water soluble pens. And the funny thing is that some of these are actually like air soluble, meaning that it's kind of like disappearing ink, that you make a mark and they go away within a couple of days or something. Let me know if you guys have tried these and whether or not they work or not. I'm gonna test them out first and then maybe use them on my designs. But this is the Soline Air Erasable Fabric Pen. I like it. Hopefully you can see that. Fine, it says lines vanish in a few days. Can I use it on my face? Not that I have wrinkles yet. Yet, they're coming. And my hair's all white from the last couple of years. And then the next one is the Dritz pen. We all know about the Dritz pen. I've used Dritz before, and I like Dritz. It's just that we'll see what how fine of a tip this one is. Usually the Dritz pen doesn't work great when I'm doing like 25 count or higher, just because the pen tip is not fine enough to properly mark where I need to be. But we'll see. We'll see. Well, all right. So I have, so today is Wednesday. Video's coming out on Tuesday. I'm gonna make sure it comes out on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Cowboy Stitch With Me just came out, and I'm gonna be filming, recording the, what is this called? Old World Map for Saturday, and then figuring out what I'm gonna be doing for Monday. So a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of fun changes, thank goodness. I'm ready for new things, you know, I totally am. And so we'll go from there. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay cool, stay safe. Go check out my store. Thank you to my patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you, I appreciate you so much. If you wanna consider joining, look down below. Great stuff. And yeah, especially this week, I've been leaning on my patrons a fair bit because I've been asking them, well, how's this and how's that with my patterns, my physical patterns going out, and they've been helping me out. Thanks, guys. You guys have been helping me out a lot, putting more eyes on what I'm doing and getting a more group think to really make sure that I'm putting out quality stuff. So thanks again. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, and I'm gonna go stitch.